Hello my friends, welcome to Painting with Harold. I am Harold, and tonight I was supposed to do the nightlight painting, but I got commissioned to do a piece for a guy here, pretty local. He wanted me to do him a mountain scene, and he wanted a cabin in it, and he kind of wanted a colorful sky, and that's about all he requested. And he wanted it done on 11 by 14, so that's what I got here. Turned on landscape. I already got a thin, even coated liquid white, and I'm going to try to do the nightlight tomorrow. My palette is in quite a mess. This is left over from yesterday. And my colors are titanium white, phthalo blue, phthalo green, alizarin crimson, Van Dyke brown 2 times, sap green. Got a little bit of cad yellow left. I'll have to put some more out. Yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and evil bright red. We got some colors mixed up over here that we used on the cabin last night, and some trees, so we'll just keep them colors handy. I think they're still wet enough to use. If not, I'll mix up some colors as we go, and I'll let you know what those colors are as we do it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 1-inch brush and I'm going to tap into just a little bit of alizarin crimson, and I want just a little bit on the brush, and I'm going to come about right here, and I just want to put a little color in the sky, just a little bit of alizarin crimson up here, and then I'll come down here and I'll put some in the water. We know in this painting we're going to have water, because I'm going to make a little lake scene and put the cabin somewhere in here. I don't know exactly where yet, but somewhere. Alright, then we'll go right into a little phthalo blue. Just a little bit. And I'll come right here into this crimson and just work it in. I'm going to keep this guy as loose as I can. It don't have to be a real precise painting. Not in the sky, because I want it, because I'm going to do a little work to it. Since this is a commission piece, I'm probably going to use a couple small brushes and work on some details when we get to that point in the painting where it needs a little more detail. And he said he don't need the sides painted because he's got a frame, so we're not going to worry about painting the sides. Alright, I'll get a little more color, and I'll come down here and try to keep these colors kind of as level as I can. I mean, I know it's going to be impossible to keep them completely level, but we'll do the best we can with it. Just want it down here in the water, so when we get down here, we'll have it to work with. Probably going to need it a little darker here on the bottom. We'll just work it up, not like so. Alright, I'll hang on to that brush for a second. Then I'll pick up a 2-inch brush, and I'll come right up here with the X strokes, big long X strokes. And I'm just going to blend out the top, like so. About like that's all we need. Maybe soften that crimson up just a little bit across here. Just a little bit. About like so. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, then we're going to come down to the bottom. And we want to blend these colors together. And just pull them straight across. Keep them kind of level. And get that rough spot out of that blue. And about like that's all we need. Alright, I'm going to knock some of the paint out of that 2-inch brush. And all I ain't going to get for now too. Alright. I am going to grab my palette knife here. I got some color we made up last night in that painting. Now if you didn't watch that painting, the color is phthalo green and alizarin crimson, and it's equal parts. And I just got them mixed together on my palette here, and they make a black. And well, I tell you what, before I even get to that step, let's put a couple clouds up here. They don't have to be real fancy clouds, but I think a couple clouds in this painting will look pretty decent. And for that, I'm just going to grab a number 6 fan brush, carry it right into some titanium white, and I'll just come in here and making them little circles. Just making little circles. Last night in that painting, I mentioned that the way you hold a brush sometimes is very important. You know, if you hold a brush up close, let me show you the difference here. This is something I think would be good for a lot of people to see. If you hold a brush up close, kind of like you're holding a pencil, you can come up here and you can make a whole lot better circle. See how tight these little circles are? See? They're just a whole lot tighter. Where if you hold it back like this, it gives you they're kind of longer circles. And a lot of times, whatever it is you're trying to do, the way you hold the brush is as important as how you load it, and a lot of the control is done simply by the way you hold it. And I know a lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. See, you don't have near as much control back here as you do. Let me put a little more paint on here. If you hold that brush up close, I mean, look at the control you got. You make a whole lot smaller circle. But now, last night my demonstration was on doing limbs on trees, and you don't have as much control over the brush. See how it's kind of shaky out on the end, and when you're doing them limbs, it kind of helps for your hand to shake a little bit. So try that in the future. It may help you some. Practice with where you're holding the brush, because it's got a lot to do with how your circles come out and control over the brush. Now these, you know, it's just natural for your hand to go on them like that. I mean, so, but we're going to come up, we're going to blend the bottom of these clouds out like we always do. Just the bottoms. And we'll come up here and we'll do the big one. I probably should have blended it out before I put the one under it, but you know me, I get to talking and lose my mind. Alright, about like that. Then I'll take me a paper towel, knock some of that color out. Didn't pick up much, but we'll knock out what it did. And we'll come up and fluff them up. Just like so. Give them a little fluff. And then very lightly, just come across and just remove the brush strokes. Just real gentle like that. That's all you got to do. And then knock that little bit of paint out, which it still didn't pick up very much at all. Alright. Now I'm going to grab my palette knife back. And I got that little roll of black on here. And this is that black that we made last night. And in this painting, I'm going to come about right here. And I want to push me in a spot. And I want to kind of bring it down and just kind of keep it jagged. And over here I want to bring this peak around like so on this mountain. I'm going to do this mountain a little different than what I normally do them. This one's going to be probably a little bit more fun a mountain than we normally do. It'll have some I think it'll have a couple new things in it that we may not have done before. Alright, I'm going to bring this one around like this. And we'll bring the top in over here somewhere. And you really want to push this color in the canvas when you're doing these. I mean, get in there and really just push that color in. You'd really be surprised if you knew how hard I was pushing to put that color in there. But now that's important that you do that, because it's putting that stain in the canvas on these colors, and that's kind of what we're going for. Right. Bring this one down like that, and you want to get out all the color you can. You know, keep it scraped out as best you can, because the less paint you have up there now, the less paint you have to fight with when you start doing your highlighting. And about like that's what we're looking for. We don't need no more than that up here in this little painting. Maybe one over here, kind of distant. It don't have to be about like that. That's all we got to do. I'll clean off my knife now, and I'm going to pick up the 1-inch brush that I used up top. Well, I didn't leave much of the pink showing. Just a little bit right in there. That's about it. Alright, I'm going to come up here and you'll pull this color out best you can. Just pull it out. Alright, I'm going to move my palette out the way just a second here. Go ahead and get up here and pull this color out. You can lay that brush and lay it flat and work up to the edge, and that helps a lot sometimes. Not like so. Come in here and just pull that color out, and you always knock some of the paint off on you. Paper towel. Get them bristles kind of dry. You come in here and just pull out as much as you can across here. Like so. About like it's what we're looking for. Alright, we'll go ahead and wash that brush now. Well, I ain't gonna wash it, I'm just gonna put it in the thinner. Alright. pick up my knife again. I'm gonna go up there in my titanium white. And I want to get just a thin roll of it. You got to pull that color out flat to get that thin roll of paint. And then I want to come up here to the, let's see, I want to start right here. I'm going to come right in here and we'll bring this color around, not like so. I want this to be it's going to create like a little valley in here when we get done. And just very lightly pull this color down. You can pull it down at an angle. And just keep up with how you want to do your angles here, because angles are really, really important. About like so. Then we use that little edge, and I'm gonna come right in here, and I want a little white right in here, not like so. Because I want to make it look like this mountain is got a lot of different peaks and stuff in it today. A little different than what we normally do. It's almost going to look like we're doing it backwards, but we're not. It'll all work out when we get done. You'll see what I'm saying. But now if you don't feel comfortable doing mountains this way, you don't have to do them this way. You can do them the way we always do them, and that'll be just fine. I'm just doing something a little different for this guy that wanted this painting. I know him pretty good, so I know what I can get away with him. And if the birds go to getting too loud, I'll just stop the video and wait for them to calm down. And I'll just edit it all back together. And we'll never know they was annoying us. Alright, then we'll come over here. Just kind of work this in like so. Alright. I'm gonna do the same thing in this little saddle. I want this paint to come across here like another little valley in our mountain. See how I'm just going back and forth with it. Just kind of rocking that little edge of that knife back and forth. And just come all the way to the bottom with it. Just like so. And then I'll come back up here and pull me out another little roll. I'll come right here to this spot. And I want just a couple little touches right here. Just let that paint break when you're doing these. Just let it pull off the knife. That's all we're doing. Just like so. All right, now anytime you're doing any kind of mountains, I don't care if you highlight them the way we are right now, or if you highlight them any kind of other way you want to. One thing to always remember is, as long as you got dark and light color up here and they oppose each other, they'll pretty much they'll pretty much form a peak. Like if you've got color that's like this white, if you come back under that with some dark, it's gonna put a peak up here, and it's gonna make that. Ooh, well, that ain't good. Now you can see by how light you hold a brush when you're doing this. I mean a knife, because I just dropped it. That's how much pressure I had holding it. And that's not the first time I've ever dropped a knife painting mountains. Alright, let me show you what I'm talking about right quick when I'm talking about that. Let's say, for instance, we do the blue and the white highlights with the light blue. I'm going to take a little bit of black, put in that color, and just kind of gray it down some. We'll get us kind of a grayish blue going on. Alright, if you get a little roll of that bluish gray color we just made up, and you come up here on this mountain where that white is, if you come under that and you pull that color down, it's gonna make that white look raised up. And it's just gonna make it look like part of the mountain across there like that. See? Just like that. And then all you gotta do is take a little bit of it on the little edge and come up here and just kind of touch it in a couple places. You ain't gotta cover up all that white that we just made in there. Then you can come up here and pull you some over this way. Just like that. And let them two colors kind of meet. And it give you mountain all different kinds of looks right there. Then you can come back up here and you can get your little white, and you can come back, since you got that thick color under there, you can kind of pull it down some now, and it'll give you like a broken look in there. And you come back with some more white, and just kind of touch it around in here, and it'll go to mixing with that other color, and it'll just look like you got shadows and snow everywhere. It just keeps it from looking real uniform. It'll put all kind of jagged edges up here. It'll put little cliffs and little places that'll have little holes in it here and there. And you just create them by putting some contrasting colors against each other. And that's all we're doing. And if you get to a spot to where the colors meet up and don't want to match in, just take your little edge of your knife and just kind of pat them down. like right here, you can come back up here and pull that little spot there down some, and it'll just look like that is a whole little edge that comes down now. And if you want to bring a little more color up here to blend it in, grab your little white. You come right back up here and just kind of blend it in across here, just like so. And it'll gray down as it goes down. And then out here, you can come back now and just kind of work your color. And see how gray it got. But it had that white in it, so it'll take on that, I don't know how to explain it. It'll take on that gray mountain look. You know how like some mountains are not black and some mountains are not blue. They have that gray, snowy rock look to them. That's kind of what that does. And then you can take a little bit more of your shadow color right here and come up here and touch a couple places. And it don't take much of this when you're doing this now. And then you can come right up here and start pulling a little of that color down and let it mix with that shadow color. And just kind of keep working it till that gray comes in over here. Because once you start getting that gray color, you want to kind of ease up a little, because you don't want it to turn real dark. You just want it to be light gray in here. Because on all these shadow sides, we're going to come back in a few minutes and put that dark color back in a couple places. And when we do, it'll look good. Trust me, it'll look real good. Alright, let's get a little more of this color on this shadow side here. We'll come up and we'll come around with it now. And we want to start blending these colors together down here. I want a little bit more of that color right up here. Right there. Kind of get that darkness going. And then you can just kind of mix your dark color with the white over here again, like we did a minute ago. And it'll give it that effect. You see how that effect just comes in there like that? Then you can take a little bit of the gray color right here, and you can come up here and touch in just a couple places. Don't take many, remember, don't take much. And then we're working in on this side. But you want to work it in kind of slow, because if you don't keep enough white in, and it'll get too dark on you. So if it starts getting too dark, just get a little more white, and you want it to be light gray on this side. And you want the light gray meeting the dark gray. And you just want to really not be able to tell where they meet up at. And it takes a little more work doing these kind of mountains. As you can see, it's a little different. But to me, when you get done doing it, it's worth it. And you won't hardly see many paintings that I do these kind of mountains in, because I don't do them unless it's somebody I kind of know. Because if you was doing these on a 16 by 20 and trying to do step by step, it'd be a long video. Alright, we'll come in here, work this out now. And just kind of let them kind of glide together here for now. Because everything we're doing right now is just one step in the process. It's not the final step. Alright, now we'll pull out some more white. Now we want to get a little roll. We want to come back up here and we want to just kind of start highlighting it now with a little white. Get a little white paint in here now. Like so. Don't take much, just to say you got some up here, because we just don't want to blend it all the way. We want it to be seen, because I'm going to come back up here with a little brush and I'm going to work on this stuff. I'm going to work details in. And when we do that, that's when it really starts paying off. Because that little brush is going to be soft bristled, and it'll have the ability to blend. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Just like so. And just pull that. You can pull that color down any direction you want. Just on this one, we'll pull it down this way, just to give it that look. We'll come up here and get our gray color. We'll start right here. Come in here to our mountain already here, and just start coming in here, pulling out this color, just like so. And just bring it over. Kind of just start blending them together again, just like we've done everywhere else. Like so. You can always come back, get your white. Come back, fix your point up here. If you want it to be, you want it to look different. That's entirely up to you. However you want it to look, you can make it turn. You can make a whole new little range out here if you want to. You can come out here and you can put your little mountain or a little ridge right in front of that one, if that's what you want to do. And it's as easy as picking up a shadow color and coming in right behind it, just like that, and adding it right into the painting there. Just that easy. This stuff is it's amazing how it works. I mean, how if you got a light color and you add that dark color to it, it just creates an illusion there. Alright, then we'll come out over here. Now I don't want a lot of paint over here because I'm going to have a couple trees that's going to come up over this, but just in case you see through them, we're going to scrape in a little color. And it's not going, like I said, it's not going to be much color over here. We don't want a lot. We just want the colors back here. Just, we don't care what the shape really looks like. Not up to this point anyway. You know, maybe we'll come in here and work on this area a little bit. You know, where it comes down the hill here. And we may add a little color in here, you know, just to give it that, to kind of light gray it down some. Like right through here, we can do that. Like so. It don't take a real big change in here to notice the change. That's the thing. It can be a real light, subtle change, but since it is a color difference, you'll still notice it. And that's, to me, that's the beauty of it. Alright, now I'm gonna pick up my, oh, where's it at? No, it's up here somewhere. There it is. My little sable brush. And y'all seen me use this before. Alright. Anywhere you got a spot that just don't look like it's wanting to line up right, take that little sable brush and come in here and just kind of blend behind these colors. Just lightly pull these colors, and it'll just smooth that texture of that paint out. See how it's doing that? See how it's smoothing all that out across there? You can even come in here if you want to and kind of just, you can almost paint with this brush. See there? And then on the white up here, you can just kind of pull it down. And if you get too much white on your brush, bring some of it over here. You know, we're going to need some of it anyway to calm these colors down. So just keep that in mind. You know, if you get too much color, you can always bring it in the other side over here, and you can work on these peaks and stuff over here with that light, because it's going to turn a light gray. We're not really working for a real white color right now. And anywhere you got a dark spot, you can bring a light spot in front of it. Just like so. Just like that. And just kind of bring that color down. And then right here, if you want that white to kind of lay in there at a funny angle over here, just blend them together. Real easy. Just keep in mind, all you're doing is working with the angle of your mountain. So don't ever lose your angle. If you don't lose that angle, you're going to be just fine. Not like that. And we'll come over here and we'll kind of smooth this one out some. This one's going to have some trees over it too, so we don't have to go crazy on it either. Alright, now once you get all that done, you can pull all that color out of your brush. and you can go into whatever dark color you want to use right now. You can use that blue color. I'm gonna go back up in here in my black, and I'm gonna get a little black on this brush, very little, and I'm gonna come right in here and just very lightly in a couple places. I'm gonna come down behind these peaks on the light gray side. I'm gonna bring a little of this black in, and I'm gonna pull it out. Just kind of let that black work in and darken that gray down some, just on that one side. Just on this side. You don't wanna let it darken everything down. You just wanna darken this one side down. See how that. I hope y'all can see in the camera how that's doing that, how it makes it look all rocky and jagged. Let's see, that's pretty dark up here. So that black up there is going to look real good. Then we'll come in here and catch a couple of these little peaks like that. And we'll come right in here and catch some on this little new ridge we made out here. And we'll put a couple down through here. Just to add a little color. I'm going to come right at that top up there if I can. Oh yeah, just like that. There we go. Then I'm going to darken that some right through there. And then I'm going to come on this side. And like I said a while ago, I don't want much paint over here, but I do want to shape this side up just in case. But I just don't want a lot of color over here. So I'm not really worried too much about whether it's seen real well or not. Alright, then come back up here real light over these black spots you made. And just kind of lightly blend them in. Real lightly. And see how pointed and jagged that mountain peak looks. And if you get to a spot that don't have enough, you think you need another one, well, just come down there and pick you up a couple more and add them in. Just that simple. Just don't forget to keep them in the angle, you know, the correct angle. Because that's going to be really the key to making it work or not. And then you can bring some down like that. And then these over here, you can make a couple of them darker. Come right up to the peak if you need to. And then down through here, you can do the same thing. Kind of give yourself a little indication right through here. Alright, now I'm going to wash that brush. Make sure it's good and dry. And then you can come back up here and just start pulling that dark color out just a little bit. Basically all you're doing is trying to make it a little longer. That's basically all you're doing. And you're touching it so light that's all you can do really, is just make it a little longer. Not like so. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Now we already done this side once, so be careful over here. The only thing we're doing right now is just just lightly touching up. And I mean lightly, very lightly. Just touching up. Making sure we got all our brush strokes the way they should go. So we can form these little valleys where we need them. Now if you really wanted to get just downright technical, you could come in them little valleys and put more little peaks, and that's entirely up to you. You know how crazy you want to get with it. But I think if people that like to ski seen that right there, they'd have a ball right there. Alright. Pull that one out just a little bit. Give it that look. I'm pleased with that. Now just rather than sitting there with a little bitty small tiny brush and doing intricate little details, that's you know, it's just a real pretty mountain range. It's a little different. You don't see it every day. Alright. I gotta run upstairs for a second. I'll be right back. And in the world of video, you'll never know I'm gone. Alright, I'm back. The next thing we're going to do now is we're going to pick up that 2-inch brush that we held on to earlier. It's got that little bit of blue where we was blending out the sky and the water. And I'll knock that little bit of color out. It ain't much in there. And I ain't even opened my thinner bucket. I mean my beater bucket tonight. Alright. Now we're going to come up here, and this is just like you do in every mountain that we paint. We're going to come up and just tap out the bottom across here and just kind of follow the same angles that you made your mountains in. Just follow them same angles out. Like right here. Yeah. Just a little bit come out this way, and then a little bit's got to come out this way. Just follow the same angles. And just kind of tap out the bottom. That's all we want to do. Just like so. And we'll do this side. Even though this side's not going to be seen, we'll still do it. Then we come in here, just very, very lightly pull that color back up into your mountain. And you're going to end up with a little mist looking color down here, real light mist, and you just kind of come across the bottom and blend that out. Just give yourself that little mist. You can do little circles if you need to. Whatever you need to do, just kind of make sure you want the brush strokes gone. That's what we're looking to get rid of. You don't want no brush strokes down in here, or no real harsh color. You just want everything just real soft, just like it's sitting on top of a cloud almost. That's kind of what we're going for right there. And we'll blend the rest of that out. Alright, we're through with that brush for now. Now I took that black, that's the phthalo green and alizarin crimson, same amount. I took a little sap green and put in that, and a little bit of white, and I got like a grayish green color. It's a real dark color. And I'm gonna come up here. Let me show you how I'm gonna do this. I got my palette upside down, but I'm going to take just a corner and I'm going to tap just a little bit on that brush. Just a corner. Just like that. And I'll come right up here in this mist and I want to just start pulling down across here. Just real lightly. Just come across there and pull down. That's all I'm doing. Just pulling down. And I'm just barely touching the canvas when I'm doing this. I'm just letting that paint touch and then I'm pulling it straight down. That's all I'm doing. Then I'll come back and tap just a little bit more. We'll come over here and we'll do the same thing. I'm just tapping and pulling straight down. And you don't want a lot of paint on your brush when you do this. Alright, we'll come back across just like so. And you can come in here then and you make some taller. And kind of come across them a couple times and kind of blur some of them out, leave some of them dark. We want them to look way off in the distance back here. About like so. That's what we're looking for. Not like that. Just keep pulling them down. And just like that, we got thousands of trees back there. Now, I'm going to knock that color out of my brush, and then I'm going to come right back up here, and I want to pull very lightly all the way through them, and pull them tips up to where they look like they're standing straight up back there. They just look like tall trees back there. Now I'm going to lay my brush sideways and I'm going to tap in just a little bit of color, and I'm going to come back here across the bottom and I just want to lightly pull down across here, real lightly. Just wherever you need to do it, you want them to look like they're the same height. You don't want them to be too far off in size. But now they don't have to be perfect either. We just want to pull straight down across here. And this is going to be a reflection into our water, because I think we're too far away to see a whole lot of land. Alright, and knock that color out with the same brush. Now, we'll come back across real light, just real lightly across here, and pull across that we just pulled down, and give ourselves that reflection in the water, just like so. Then you can take your knife and come up here. Now we don't need this to be real bright white because it's far off, so I'll take just a little bit of the crimson. I mean very little. About like that. If you can even see that on the knife. It's very little crimson. And I'll make this just a real light pink color. And it's way more white than it is alizarin crimson, trust me. Then we're going to come right up here at the bottom of our trees. We want to just come across here with a little water line. Just keep it as level as you can across here. And if it's too bright right there, just come under it and kind of work it up a little. And just keep coming across. And just go all the way across the canvas with it. With that little water line. Just like that. And if you want to, you can bring you a couple little ripples in here. Like so. Just to lighten things up a little. Alright, now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to pick up a little of my Van Dyke Brown on my 1-inch brush, just like that. And I'm going to bring it right back into this same color. And I'm just going to tap all of it together right here on the brush. And I'm going to tap it straight down into it. And it's going to give my brush kind of a funky look, but that'll be alright too, because we're going to work with that corner. Alright, I'm going to come right up here at the top of this cloud, or at the bottom of this cloud, and I want to just start laying in me a tree shape here. Just back and forth. Just a little tree shape, about like so. And you can see how airy I'm making it. I'm leaving it kind of open. And then when I get here to the bottom of this, where this tree's gonna be, I want to start turning them into bushes. So I'm gonna make this look like a little island out here. I just want to bring it straight across and straight down, just like so. Just like that. Then I want to get some more color on my brush, same color. I'm going to come up here under this cloud, and I want to do the same thing. I want to put me in a tree on this side. Now I'm going to come across here. I'm going to put my little island in right here. About like so. And on top of that little island, I want some bushes and stuff on it too. I'm going to come up like so. Across this bottom, kind of level it out there a little bit. About like that. Alright, now, this is where the fun begins. I think I will. I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. Yeah, just a little bit. I like that better. Yeah, that looks more. Yeah, I like that better. What do y'all think? Y'all like that better? I mean, this one over here is kind of short. It can stay short. Because we're gonna have some of this reflecting down in the water over here. We're probably gonna have a few other things before it's all said and done, reflecting in the water over here. But but for the most part, we're gonna bring in a little bit of land under here, so some of that'll disappear, but it'll be there for when we get there. All right, I'm gonna drop that 1-inch brush in the thinner, and now for the super duper fun part, I'm gonna put in a couple of bushes right here. Well, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna dip it in just a little bit of thinner. Then I'm gonna come up here, right into this little bit of cad yellow I do got out, and a little bit of this green. And I'm gonna come right here, and I want to start putting in a little bush right here. Just make sure you leave some dark in here, because this is probably going to be back in shadow. Alright, now let me kind of explain what I'm doing here. See how I got this part out this far? I'm going to come back over here on this side, and I'm just going to work on this side now, like so. Just like that. See how I did that? Now I'm going to show you why. I'm going to pick up a little of my Van Dyke brown. I'm going to bring it down here and pull it down flat as I can get it. And I'm going to come, let's see, I want to come right here with the roof line on my little cabin, just like so. Pull it out about like so. Alright. Then I'm going to get a little bit more. And I'm going to come on this side. Well, I tell you what, let's make this a little bit longer. We'll go about right there with it. If that looks alright with y'all. Are y'all screaming right now, telling me what I need to do? Because I can't hear you. You're going to scream louder. Alright, then we'll come right here, and we'll put us in a little eave right there. And just pull that back into the, like so. And we'll come right here. We'll get a little bit of paint on this edge out here. Clean it up, because I want this to go back toward the bushes, like that. Then I'll pull this side down, just a little. Just pull it straight down like so. Now we can always come in here and work on perspective later, once we get everything laid out. That's the beauty of this technique. You can always come back and fix the oil paint. Is so forgiving that way. It'll really look out for you. Alright, then I'm gonna come in here on this eave, maybe kick it out a little bit more. About like so. Get that right angle on it. And then come right here and pull this color straight down, just like this. And then come in here and pull this color straight down. And you can use that little edge of the knife if you need to. which I guess I'm gonna need to. But you can pull it all down just like so. Now, now the beauty of painting cabins is once you get that thing laid out with your knife like that, you don't have to paint a cabin with your knife if you're not comfortable. Let me show you what you can do. You can pick you up a little brush, and this is just a number 4 round, and this brush come out of David Brancato's line of brushes. If you don't know who he is, he just did an interview with Gabby. So go check him out. David is he is a plethora of information when it comes to oil paint. The man he is so knowledgeable. He knows oil paint. Alright, we'll come over here. I'm gonna pull all this down like so. Across here. And get this worked out. Just pull it all down for now, because we're gonna straighten it out here in a little bit when we come back to do our cabinectomy. We'll get it all straightened in, because right now it ain't straight. I'm gonna say it needs to be cut off. Let's say we're gonna come out this far over here and here and come back, about like so. Bring this down. And then bring these down. Sure we got all our angles right. That's real important. And then bring this straight across here. Then we pull down our sides, just like so. And then come across, pull out the front, just like so. Alright, if you can see that, it's kinda laid out here. What we want our cabin to look like. Kinda. We're gonna come back in here now and add some more colors and get everything looking the way we want it to look. Alright, I'm going to clean this little brush up. I guess I had more paint in that little brush than I thought. Alright, there we go. Good and clean. Alright. Now I'm going to pick up my little knife. And I'm going to come right in here, and this color that we had made up yesterday. And all this color is alizarin crimson, yellow ochre, and white. Alizarin crimson, yellow ochre, and white. Over here still a little more crimson. And put a little of the Van Dyke brown in it. And what I'm going for is just kind of a light brown tint, just kind of loosely marbled mix here. This paint's real thick, so I don't know how good it's going to do up here because it was set out overnight. But we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Alright, I'm going to come right in here under what I'm calling the eave. And I'm going to pull this color straight down real lightly, just like adding snow on a mountain. Just let it break. Come on this side, pull it straight down, and just, if you can get it to break, just let this color break across here. Real gentle like. Just pull it down. Just pull it straight down. We want this old cabin to look real rustic sitting back in here. Want him to look like he's been back here for 100 years. About like so. Now you can see where the eave is, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of Van Dyke Brown by itself, and I'm going to come up here now, and I'm just going to pull this eave back. Since we got that light color there now, I'm just going to pull that eave back so it can stand out there now. You can see where it's supposed to be now. Alright, now I'm going to grab a little of that color that we just used on the front there, and I'm going to bring it out here, and I'm going to mix it with the same color, that same Van Dyke Brown that we just used on the eave, because I want it to be a little darker. And I'm going to come right up here at my roof line, and I'm going to come across the back here, and I'm going to pull this color straight down. Just pull it straight down. I want it dark back here. Ain't going to be much light getting to this side. Just like so. Let it stay good and dark. Keep this side up front. Keep it kind of light if you can. Like right through here. That little color change right there is real important, because that shows where our cabin comes this way and then starts its descent back into the bushes back here. See how it does that? So that's why you need that. That's why you need that real dark color back here. You want to keep this side as dark as you can. Because like I said, there won't be a whole lot of light back here. And this side's going to be in shadow. So keep that in mind. Alright, then you can come up here now, and we can fix our roof line. Just like so. Pull that roof down all the way across. And come in here and just pull that paint down right under the roof. Leave just a little bit of dark there. Uh-oh, I got blue all over my arm. Whew. I'm painting, I tell you that. Painting the canvas, painting me. Alright. Now I'll come back up here and I'll pick up a little more of the light color and come across here and fix the bottom. Because the bottom is just going to be sitting there off the paint. just like so. Last thing we're gonna see. Alright, now we can take that little roll of the knife and come up here and get some of this dark color on our little edge, and we can just start making us some little indications of lines in here to look like old wood, just like so. Pull this color on down. Just the indication of some boards here and there. Now I'll come up here and I'm going to grab some bright red, and I want to tone it down with just a little bit of brown, not much, just a little bit. Kind of get a rusty red brown color. I'm going to come up here and I just want to tap a little bit across the top here, and I want to start tapping down. And if this goes to giving you problems, just don't apply too much pressure. Just make sure you got enough enough paint on your knife, because you want this to be a real light pressure and that paint just pull off. And just keep it in the same angle as your roof running back. See, that's kind of slightly leaned to the back, just a little. Just try to maintain that same angle back here, and just kind of let it go all the way back, about like so, and then all the way down on your roof line here. And then you can load up the back half of the knife, come up here on your front half of the roof and touch it. Because see, loading up half that knife means you only got paint on half of it. So you don't need no paint out here, there's already paint there. So just load up the back half of it, and that's all you're touching. It's just the back half. See, that's all I got paint on, is that back half. So that's all I'm working with. Just like so. Because I don't need no paint out here. There's already paint on there. Alright, then I'm going to grab just a little bit more of that same color. Now this red can be a little brighter because there's sun's out in here. So this side can get away with a little bit more red when you come down this side here. So just come up here and touch it with a little red right on that eave, just like so. And if that don't work for you, you can always come back and you can add just a little white if you want to. I don't think we'll need to in this painting, but you know, if you wanted to, you could. Alright, then I'm going to pick up just a little bit more of the Van Dyke Brown. And we'll come right in here and we'll give him a little window to look out of. I'll tell you what, let me scrape this paint out first, since it ain't wanting that right. Alright. Then I'll grab some color. And I'll come up here and I'll add a little window. I'm going to say in this house the door's around the front, so he can walk out the front door and check his beaver traps and maybe cast out there and catch him a bass or something. Alright, we'll take a little bit of white on that edge. We'll come right around this window. Give it a little accent. About like so. Kind of level it up some. About like so. Don't take much. Just a little. Then I'm going to smear it a little bit out. About like, well, I don't think you need no window in the back, do you? What y'all think? Yeah, he might want to see out the back. I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and give him a little window back here. This is a dark color, so I don't even know that window's going to show up back here. But we'll try. Just in case it does. We'll give him a little one right there. I hate to even bring that white in here around it, but I guess we need to. So you can tell it's a window back here. About like so. Because this is way back in the... Well, I just sat there and rubbed it all off. Again. That's how you do that. If you messed the first time up, do it again. Alright, then we'll come up here and take that paint off. Pull it down. I still ain't got none to show up at the top just yet. So I gotta work on that. Here it is. Well, I hate doing this step right here. Bob made it look so easy. He definitely had this technique mastered, I'll say that. Alright, now, just like that, I'm going to say we got us a little cabin. I'm happy with it. And I think he'll be happy with it. In fact, I'm going to put a little dark color right here on that side, just to give it a... I'll bring a few more indication of boards in here. Just like so. Just a couple. Old boards. Make it look like an old cabin set back here. Alright, clean off the knife. Clean off me. Because I got paint everywhere. Alright, I'm going to grab my script liner brush. I'm going to go into the thinner. And we'll go right here into this Van Dyke brown since I'm here. Let that brush up good. And I'll just come up here. And I'll give myself a little trunk. And I'll bring off a limb that way. Bring off a limb that way. Bring one in here. And in here. Like so. Here and there, about like that. And I'll grab a little more, and I'll come over here to this little tree, and I'll put one in here, And in there. Not like so. Then I'll wash the brush. Alright. I'm going to continue to highlight with that 1-inch brush we used earlier. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to dip it in just a little bit of thinner. Just a little bit, won't take much. In fact, I'll even shake it out in my beater bright right over here. And I'm going to come in, and this is where I'm going to load this brush for all of these highlights. I'm going to bring the corner in, like right here in this yellow ochre. I'm going to pull a little bit of it down. I'm just going to tap right into there on that corner. See how I'm doing that? So if I call out a color and I say I'm going to put a little of that on my brush, that's how I'm loading it. Just with the corner, pushing it straight down in there and pulling it straight back out. And it leaves that little popcorn sealing effect right there. And that's on the brush. So that's the effect we're going for. That color. Alright, now with that same color on the brush, that yellow ochre, I'm going to put a little bit more on there. Then I'm going to come up here to the alizarin crimson. I'm going to pick a little of it up. And just brush mix them. Alizarin crimson and yellow ochre. And y'all know that makes that little peachy color that I use quite a bit. Then I'm going to come right up here to the top. And just at random, I'm going to start lightly tapping on that color. Just real light. And if it don't want to pull off just right, grab just another drop of thinner. And believe me, it don't take much thinner when you're doing this. It does not take much at all. Come back up here. There we go. Now that's the color we're looking for. And just come up here and touch and pull right back off. That's all we're doing. We want to leave ourselves plenty dark in here to give it that dark shadow look. Leave some trunk showing if we can. Just leave ourselves some of that dark. We wanna have that deep shadow in these trees. Because even though we got the sun showing out here, the sun's still not going to hit this one all the way just right because it's not facing the sun. If the sun's hitting this tree anywhere, it'd be hitting it on that outside edge, which would still cast a shadow over this way. So, now with that being said, we can come in here and just, in a couple places, just add on a little color out here, not much. I'm gonna say that right there is plenty. I wouldn't get too crazy with it. All right. Then I'm gonna grab just a little bit more thinner, and I'll come into the sap green now with this same color. Cause that sap green with that ochre and that crimson in it, it'll be and a little cad yellows down there too. It won't be a real bad color, because all we're looking for in here is just color differences. We just want to have some changes in color, because we want to bring these colors down as close as we can to our cabin without touching the roof. I want these colors to, now I may have to put out a little more cad yellow here in a minute. But we want these colors to be all around the cabin. We want this cabin to look like it's just sitting back here in the bushes, just you know, like it's been back here for years and years and all growed up looking. When we get back here on this side, we still kind of in the light a little bit. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I've said it a couple times, so let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and put me out some more yellow while I can. While it's on my mind, if I can find it. I'm hanging out. Lord, I'm finna have to order some paint. I have been painting a lot here lately, I'll say that. I may have to order some paint. Alright, now I'm going to go straight into the cad yellow. But I got all these other colors on my brush, so by going straight into the cad yellow, they're still mixing with all those other colors. So it should have like a golden color to it this time. Yep, there it is. Boy, ain't that pretty. Look at that. Wow. We'll bring it over, just like so. I think that'd be a pretty color to put on top of the roof right here too. Look at that. We just destroyed that real pretty roof we spent all that time building. Alright. I'm going to even come over here in a little bright red and bring some of that color in. It'll be kind of orange, kind of red. Or just bring it across here like so. And I'll come back into the yellow. And maybe a little more to green. We'll bring it down in here. Maybe a little more green. Just, yeah, there we go. Just something to change the color up. And we'll leave all of that sitting there. And our cabin's it's just overtook with bushes and he's gonna have to bring a chainsaw back up here with him to stay in here. Cause that cabin is covered up. Alright, and I got all these colors on the brush. I'm gonna come up here and get just a little bit of titanium white. It's still got a greenish, kind of a greenish yellow color going. I'll come right up here. Alright, and get a little bit thinner. Just a little. Come back over here to this color again. If that color don't pull off your brush real easy, get you just a little bit of thinner and put on there. It don't take much. Just remember that. Alright, now. Yeah, there we go. One thing you always got to remember is make sure your bristles are open on that brush whenever you start going up here to put you on some color. Make sure them bristles are open, because if your bristles are clogged up, all it's going to do is create mud. Alright, I'm not particularly happy with that color, so I'm going to bring a little bit more. I'm going to bring a little bit more to green in here. And kind of darken it up some. I'm just not 100% crazy with that color. I ain't real crazy about that color either. Alright, tell you what we'll do right here. We ain't like crazy. We're gonna come up here and scratch this out before it turns to mud on us. We'll just take all this color out, just like so. And we'll take our 2-inch brush with just a corner. And we'll come back up here and add our shape. Just like this. Now the tree grew a little bit on us, but oh well. Alright. Then we'll grab a strip liner again. And we'll put our trunk back in. Like so. Alright, we'll clean it up. Alright. Maybe I need to clean this brush right quick. Maybe it's clogged up. And if that's what it wants, that ain't a big deal. We can do that. That's what we do. Alright, now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab some cad yellow. Tapping it on that corner just like before. Alright. Come up here. Yeah, there we go. Now, that's a little better. Alright. Now dark color this time is actually that green color that's under there. So that'll leave a little dark showing. Not like so. Boy, that tree just is not doing right. What is up with this? Alright, we'll come right under here. Change the color. And we'll pick up a little Indian yellow. Leave plenty of dark. And I'll come around and get some more of the red. I may have to take some red up there in that tree. Just to clean it up some. Oh, I like that, the way all that mixed together. Wow. That turned out pretty. And put a little of that in the water. Now, take this yellow back. I'll put a little of that in the water. Like so. Alright, I'm going to get just a little bit of thinner on here. I'm going to come up here in this crimson. And with all these colors we got, it ought to kind of tone that crimson down some. I'll come right up over the top of this yellow. About like that. Yeah, it actually looks some better to me. It's a different kind of tree, I'll say that. Kind of looks like a late year maple almost. Right, we'll put a little bit of it down in the water down here, like so. And I'll drop that brush in the thinner. I'll come across here and very lightly pull all these down. And then real lightly come across and just pull them colors out. Get that reflection. across like that. Yep. Alright. Then I'll take my knife and get a little more of the light brown. And I'll come right up here, pull out a little edge in the water. Not like so. Just like that. And we'll grab a little bit of highlight color. We'll use the same. Let's pick up a little white and a little of this brown over here that we used earlier. That should do it. And just let that paint slowly pull across and just break like so. Like so. Just like snow on a mountain. Just let that light color come out. Just like that. And we'll pick up a little white on our knife. And we'll come up here. Clean this up. Give yourself a little water line across here. Like so. And we'll put a couple little ripples out here in the water. Like so. Then I'll pick up a fan brush, just a real small fan brush. Number 3. I'll put just a little bit of thinner on it. I'll come right here into the cad yellow and a little of the sap green. Mix them together right there on the brush. And I'll come right up here. And I'll just slightly touch, like so. I'll create a grass line up here, and I'll pull it down on the rock some, just in a couple places. Across here and there, just down a little bit on it. You don't have to be everywhere. Just make it a little uneven up here. Just pull a little color down like so. And just like that, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll scratch this in a couple sticks and twigs here and there. Whoops, didn't want to do that. I'll fix that roof line real quick, because I did not mean to do that. There we go. Now it just looks like a little stick sticking out back there. Then I will get my strip liner one last time. And I'll come right up here into the bright red. And I'll come right over here on this red bush, on this yellow bush. And I'll put my mark. And just like that, we got a complete painting. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I think he'll like it. It's pretty much what he asked for. He wanted something kind of bright with a mountain in the cabin, and that's really all he specified. And I think it turned out fairly well. It's actually a pretty little painting. So, all right, let me see if I can turn this around where y'all can see a straight on shot of it. I don't ever get to do that. I'm going to do it real quick before I leave out. Point it right toward the camera where y'all can see straight on. That may help some. I wish I could paint at this angle, but I'm way over here, and if I did, I'd have to reach way across. It's kind of crooked. There you go. How's that? That's more or less what it looks like when you're not looking at it at an angle. You may can see the shadows in the mountains back there a little better that way. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Thank y'all for joining me. I love you guys, and God loves you more. Y'all have a blessed night, and hopefully if everything goes well, tomorrow night I'm going to have a black canvas on here, and we're going to do Bob Ross's Nightlight, my version of it anyway. And it'll probably take me about all night to get this thing clean, because, whoo, look at here. Oh, painting with Harold and Slums and Paint tonight. Alright guys, y'all have a real blessed night. Thank y'all for joining me. See you next time on Painting with Harold.